everybody. I'm Jen Kober. Welcome to my podcast, Bitchin Over Biscuits, where we tackle a different genre of podcast every week with our surprise celebrity guests. This week, we are joined by actor, star of one episode of every television show you're not watching.
Sometimes multiple episodes.
He's on them all. He has been everywhere. He is my good friend. I call him Tony. We're so close. But his name is Todd Sherry. Woo!
All right.
Hi, Jen. Hi, Sugar. You're here in my house.
I am.
This is so cool.
He's so sweet. All right. So as you know, the star of our show is always the biscuit. And this morning, Brooke made us giant drop biscuits.
Oh, not the drop
Got
biscuit.
some butter. And then, of course, I got a little grape jelly. We're going to do it up grape tonight. And it's going to be so delicious and yummy. Mike, what kind of biscuit are you working with?
I've been sticking to, because I bought the huge bag of Mary B's frozen biscuits, and I'm not going to just give up on them. So, but this was a happy accident today. So I started the biscuit. I turned the oven on, threw them in, and then realized I had to leave, turn the oven off, and left them in there. So for about an hour, they just warmed up, thawed out.
Oh, they just beamed.
And I don't know if you can tell, this thing is huge now.
Yeah,
It's
it
the
puffed
size
out.
of a burger, yeah, and it's so fluffy. So this is the way to do it if you have time. You let that shit thaw out.
You let it marinate in that oven.
That's right.
So wait,
and of course, strawberry jelly.
Uncooked biscuits that you use, and then
I
you can just take one out and cook it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really
that's
good.
dangerous.
It sounds so good, though.
These are good.
I know. My wife is so good at this.
She's pretty
I'm
too.
spitting it everywhere.
Hot biscuit
All right,
lady.
so as you can hear us chewing and chomping, because it really is delicious.
Good biscuit.
At Bitchin Over Biscuits, we always choose a different genre of podcast to tackle every week. This week, with our lovely friend Todd, we are talking reality TV.
Oh dear.
Reality TV. Todd,
Oh,
do you watch the reality TV?
I hate it with a passion.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Oh, good. We're gonna have a good, happy debate here. All right. I need you to start your bitching, Todd. I need you to take you a swig of your water and start telling me what you do not like
Well, first
about
of all,
reality TV.
I'm an actor, so I hate that so many hours of TV time have been sucked up by that shit. And you know, how many jobs have I lost because of that? Who knows?
Well, but I think you could play a wonderful arguing housewife. I would cast you as that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, but
All right.
fundamentally, you have a
But
problem.
fundamentally, I also hate. I'll tell you this: they lump in with reality television talent shows like American Idol and Got Talent. I don't count those as that. I think those have always been on television. There's always been some sort of talent show.
Yeah, that's
kind
more
of
like a
thing.
game show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with I don't freaking care. Am I allowed to swear?
Yes,
I don't fucking care if your last name is Kardashian. I don't fucking care about you. I don't care about all these people with 24 children and put, you know, any old excuse to make a TV show and not pay actors and not pay crew people and not pay for sets and not pay for everybody else. It pisses me off.
I will agree with you on all of those fundamental things.
Okay.
And I will say I've never missed an episode of The Kardashians.
Oh, God.
I've never seen a single episode.
I
of
don't care about them. It's not that. I watch it like I cannot believe the excessive measures these bitches go to look a certain way all the time.
Yeah.
They have got hair and glam and like the maintenance on one of these bitches is incredible to me.
Yeah.
So to see that there's like 4 of them and then a fat boy, like there's so many Kardashians. They run a gamut. They got trans ones. They got Tall ones, short ones, fat ones, blonde ones.
Every demographic, they got it.
Black, white, Asian, they're all over the place.
And
yeah, how do they do that?
It's like watching really slow CGI. You've watched them through the years morph into another person with all the surgeries they've had and the ass implantations and the boob implantations.
And then tell us that they've had nothing done. That's what pisses me off. Is that girl swears she's had nothing done to her butt. That butt does not grow in nature.
No.
Right? No. What about you, Mike? What's your take?
Oh, I can't stand them. My wife watches them. She watches Love is Blind, Love at First Sight, 90 Day Fiance, all the housewives. What I hate about it isn't, now I do resent the fact, and these type of shows started with one of the strikes years ago. They started,
they certainly boomed during that strike.
Right. Yes. That's when they really had a resurgence. But the fact that they call them,
it's also how we got Trump. Sorry, that strike was really bad for everybody.
Thanks for fucking up the mood here.
I know.
It's not reality. It's the producers they prep them on everything. It's not spontaneous conversations. How many times really you're going to go to a nice fancy restaurant and that's when you're going to air your grievances and throw water at each other?
I think it's unscripted in reality in that they haven't told them what to say, but they certainly set up the situations. They're going to take these 7 women who don't really like each other. They're going to play up the one who's stirring shit up, and they're going to feed her some shit and be like, tonight at dinner, I need you to confront the Contessa about blood. You know what I mean? And it is magnetic. I cannot take my eyes off of it. It is intoxicatingly interesting to watch grown women. Yo, one of these bitches flipped a fucking table. Like,
Teresa. That's Teresa.
In public and flipped a fucking table. It was magic. It was, if I was a producer on that, like sitting in, Video Village, like I'd be like, we are all going to be millionaires.
Well, that's what did it. So it was that episode when Teresa flipped the table.
Yeah.
That got everybody so interested. And I do watch it because there's nothing else on. I can't. Right. But
if you want to have any time with your wife, you have to watch.
Right. So, but I can't stand it. It's too much. I want fantasy. Give me more police procedurals. I could use some more comedies, maybe a little bit of more Madam Secretary, but don't give me reality TV.
I loved Madam Secretary. Oh, it's a great show.
Haley.
Yeah, she's good.
All right, tell me this. If you had to watch reality TV, what would the reality TV be that you watched?
Well, I mean, like I said, they lumped the talent shows in there. And also the any kind of home renovation show.
Oh, yeah.
Anything like that. I mean, I know they set some of that up too. They want to have conflict.
Sure.
I had them come. A show came and did my yard.
Ooh,
really? Wow.
House. And this conflict got set up because I forgot I had a microphone on, and the designer was unfurling all this like Mediterranean blue cloth. Like it's the color of our recycle bins, that color blue. And he's going to put that up as shade fabric over this pergola that's over my gigantic patio. And I'm just looking at it and I'm like, oh, it's hideous and it's not going to stay. I didn't say it, but I walked over and I just said, so how are you attaching that? And he goes, oh, don't worry, it'll be attached really firmly and it'll be. I go, no, I'm asking because I'd like it not to be attached firmly. Said, what's the problem? I said, well, I'll be removing that as soon as you leave. It's hideous. Forgetting I have a microphone on, it's all being recorded. Yeah. And the host comes walking around from the front of the house to the back of the house and goes, who signed up on this hideous primary blue fabric?
Oh my God, I love that.
So I got it changed sand color.
I will say this, Those are the good kind of shows. I love when they redo something or rebuild something. Though I almost always feel like the drama is forced. Though sometimes they get asshole loners and it seems weird. But what I will say is, my neighbor Frank, who's been on the podcast before, he and I went to the Hollywood show, which is one of these all the people that have ever been on TV ever can sit at a booth and you can pay to have them autograph things. Yeah. And Barbara Edens is there from I Dream of Jeannie. Ooh. They had the cast of Dallas there, right? It's not your A-listers, but it's people you remember from your childhood, whatever.
They were
SAG cards.
Yes, they were ones, exactly. And Frank and I, we both love The Housewives, and we see Shannon Storms Bedore and Vicky Gunvalson.
No,
who are royalty in the real. Yeah. They are OG original Orange County housewives. Yes,
Vicky's crazy.
And and Frank and I are both like little girls, so we go running up to their table, and there's no line, there's no nothing. They're sitting there on their phones and they look pissed. And Frank knows their press agent. So Frank's talking to the press agent and she's like, they're mad at me. They don't have a line, right? They're seeing that, Barbara Eden has a line. I'm like, she's I Dream of Jeannie. You think you two vapid whores are going to have a line?
Exactly.
Whatever. So Frank feels bad for them, and Frank pays the $80 for us to get an autograph from these two whores and take a picture with them. They come over and take a picture. You would have thought, all we asked them to do is stand up and come stand on the other side of the table to take a picture with us. We've just paid them $80. And these bitches acted like they were like,
that's only 2 drinks.
Right? They came around the table, they took the picture with us, and then they were like, done. And Frank never meets a stranger. Frank kept talking to them and trying to engage them and just making them more and more uncomfortable, which was making me fucking laugh.
That's great.
Off. It was one of the best interactions I've ever had with a famous person, and I hated them. Mm-hmm. The new season is on, and I'm watching. I'm telling you that. I'm checking out these two dumbasses. I'm like, this one's really mean. I don't even like her anymore. You feel invested in it.
Yeah, they didn't work hard enough. The reality TV stars didn't pay their dues. They didn't do local theater
but they are inviting you into the most vulnerable parts of their life.
I don't want to see their vulnerable parts.
This is the picture of me and Frank.
Let me get my glasses.
Me, Frank, Vicky Gunvalson, and Shannon Bedore. That really happened.
Shannon, let me say, she's crazy. Shannon is insane.
Look at these. Look at them.
Oh my God. Shannon can never be happy.
Meeting. Doesn't it? Like the cast of an. Oh my God.
But wait, I want Mike to go on about what he was saying about they didn't pay their dues, because that's what pisses me off too.
Look, I was in a theater major. I've done local theater, Lake Charles Little Theater. I've been in radio. I used to write radio dramas. I'm still a storyteller. That's who I am, a storyteller. And these people, just by the luck of living in the right county or having the amount of money they need to get on the show, it pisses me off, because entertainment, acting is an art, and they're making a mockery of it.
I don't think they're trying to be actors. They are trying to be famous.
But
exactly.
Now it's on Ryan Murphy's shows, and she's going to be in a film. Here we go. They're getting jobs that go to actors.
Exactly.
Are being given to people because of their fame, and
I agree.
I hate
Pauly Shore had a movie career. It can't be all about talent.
Try. I know.
That son-in-law movie is damn entertaining to me.
It is funny.
I like that stupid fucking movie. I'm just saying that I think there's a place for everyone and everything, right? Yeah, there are times when I like to sing, and I have a little band and we go play gigs and stuff. Do I think I'm a rock star? Fuck no. But I have a good time doing it, and I don't want anybody telling me to stay in my lane and just be funny. Right?
Right.
So
Right.
I appreciate what they're doing. I just wish it propagated something more positive. Like one of the reality shows I loved was Little People Big World, which
Oh
was
God.
right about the little, because I knew nothing of that world.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
And
Right. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
didn't
sorry
know
for laughing. That's
I didn't
awful.
know how small a world it was.
I saw
No,
the Wizard of Oz many times, so
well,
I felt like I already knew.
it seemed it was so interesting to see what they struggle with.
Right.
And it's the same shit we struggle with. PS, they're just lower to the ground. It's like it was so
Yes, and I felt like
building.
I could have seen 1 hour or 2 hours and got everything I needed to get. Do you know what I mean? But we're still watching,
maybe,
a whole season of something. But
maybe. But you know what reality TV shows I love, and I would never want you to take away. It's like my Top Chef.
Oh,
Like,
no, I
right,
love the cooking shows.
stuff, and they're telling me about
everyone
it. They're
loves
traveling
those
to great
baking
places.
shows and those.
The
Yeah,
new,
I mean,
the most recent one, the Battle Bobby Flay, Beat Bobby Flay. Love the cooking show.
Love it. I love
Love
those
it.
kind of shows. Now that's still considered reality TV.
Right, but I do
that's-
believe there's skill involved and that it's almost a
Yes.
competition thing.
Yes.
It's a competition. Right.
So you would feel better about the Kardashians if there were duels among them. Every week we knock out a different Kardashian, and whichever one is left at the end
The
is the
last
one we will
one.
exalt.
If they
Thank
had
you.
one iota of any kind of talent for anything, then
I mean, they clearly have a mind for business. They've made billions of dollars.
They've got
capitalizing off of your
they've got
insecurities.
people who have done this for them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
They've
that's true. I'm sure
Anyway,
that's true.
I'll tell you though, I will admit that I did watch some episodes of Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown.
Oh,
God.
Bobby!
Well, that's like looking at a car accident on the highway. You can't take your eyes. You have to look at it to see how bad it is.
So good.
Yeah, and a little of Farrah Fawcett and Ryan O'Neal.
Oh,
but I was just, those were people, that I loved and followed, and I was just interested in they were already somebody. They were already did something.
That's why I always love those true Hollywood stories.
Yes.
Those
right? Because you were finding out, like, they would follow not just like specific people, but like it'd be like the true Hollywood story of Friends, and you'd find out like all about the whole cast and what was going on behind it. And I love those. Those are real good.
I did love that kind of entertainment stories. But again, they're about people who had talent, who did things, who now were like just finding out behind the scenes of it, not just appearing out of nowhere as the wife of somebody, so they got a TV show.
I'm famous because I'm famous.
Right.
I can't stand that. Be famous, be respected and loved for the story, your talent and the story you tell. And that's why the true Hollywood story I love, because it's like Paul Harvey's The Rest of the Story. You know them here, find out this about them. But I don't care about the Kardashians.
There's an argument to be made that Kim is trying to use her publicity and her fame for good in this Innocence Project and trying to get people out of jail. And
it's self-serving. I don't believe. No, it's self-serving.
Law class.
Oh, please.
She went to DeVry, class of February.
She's going to be my lawyer. I'm going to trust her.
She's very sweet. But I think that so what do you think it is that is, don't you think what's appealing about it is that their life is so different than ours?
I think people like to think that it's really real, that it's all actually real, and they're prying because people are nosy and they want to live vicariously through these other people.
Right.
Some of it's, oh, well, look, they're rich, but they're miserable, so I feel better about myself.
That's true.
Exactly. That's why I watch Hoarders. Now that's reality, right?
Oh, that's awful.
Hoarders is reality.
Oh, it's so bad. It's bad with the hoarding. It's awful. Oh,
yeah.
And it's amazing to me that people, because I mean, the whole reason you hoard is because you're right, like you're hiding. You're not just off. Yeah, you're like literally building a wall between you and people. Yeah. And then to let cameras into that, oh my God.
Oh, it's so disgusting. It's so disgusting.
But don't you think somebody must have been helped by that show?
I hope
Somebody
so.
must have seen a show like that.
I want to believe some people have. Yeah.
Well, it'd be a shame to think they do this for just entertainment and not actually help somebody, you know? Because that's really these people you're seeing into the worst part of their lives. And I would never let fucking cameras in. Look, I used to be a reporter. I don't like reporters. I don't want cameras around me. Nobody's seeing the private life of Mike Brignac. There's not going to be a true Hollywood story or a true Lake Charles story of Mike's house. No, I don't trust any of
you're like my Midwestern mother, who I always describe as standing on the front porch and saying, "Just keep walking. There's nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Everything's fine."
Like,
you know.
See you later.
I mean, but that's when you let people in like that. There's a monetary reward. We want to see. I wanted to see what Ozzy Osbourne was like as a father. That was hilarious.
Okay. I love that show. I love Ozzy though, and that was me fanboying over Ozzy, and that's all set up. It's all set up, but it's still fun to see Ozzy being a dad and talking to his asshole kids.
There's all these different categories of this. I guess what I hate the most is the people who have done nothing and are famous for nothing.
So would you say that your favorite genre of reality TV then is the talent competition, or the one we're seeing talented people being rewarded for their talents, or
which they set up sometimes because they put some horrible person in.
Sure.
So that she bangs. Remember that guy?
William Hung. Why do I
know? Remember
I know his name. It's terrible.
But they put that in there for that very reality thing. But most of all, you are seeing a talent be lauded and supported. And thank God we have Kelly Clarkson today.
We do. Some good things have
American Idol. American Idol is one of the best, but I don't count those as reality shows. The competition
they fall into the stratosphere. Yeah. I love the love reality shows. I love that Married at First Sight, Love is Blind, that Bachelorette. Are you fucking kidding me? I love that shit.
No. What was that scripted show about making a reality show?
Unreal. That was so good.
Oh, that was good.
Constance Zimmer. Oh, so good. So good.
If you have a chance to LA, I have watched it, but when we get to LA, you and Kim and Brooke can go watch your freaking
Brooke doesn't watch it. Brooke hates it. Brooke is like, if you're going to watch your screaming ladies, I'm going to go in the other room and watch murder. So that's what she loves, murder.
Brooke and I will make biscuits in the kitchen.
Perfect. And me and Kim will just be knee deep in that Real Housewife marathon.
Oh my God. Just
loving life. Tell me this. When reality shows are getting pitched, right? So this is somebody comes in, right? If you had to pitch a reality show, what would be? I've thought about this a lot. I'll tell you mine. So I would pitch a show called Cupboard. Ooh. It is a pantry full of incredible. It's like a convenience store of a pantry. Like they just took Buc-ee's and put it inside of a pantry. It is floor to ceiling candy and beef jerky and sandwiches and like all this amazing food. And you get 5 fat people.
Oh my God.
And it's whoever lasts the longest. You got to do things to get snacks, right? And it lasts for a lot of days. And you're only allowed to go into the cupboard and like you got a grab for all. And do you share with the other people? Do you keep it for yourself? How do you do it? And then we reveal to them that cupboard's available, but now the money goes to whoever loses the most weight.
Oh, wow.
So they think they're going to get
the combining like supermarket sweep and
they think they're going to get
loser.
Sort of. They think they're going to get to gorge. And so they're all prepared for that. And then we flip it on them and say, but the person that gets the money is the person that stays away from this cupboard.
Whoa. That's good.
And I think if you lose, you're forced to eat Twinkies.
Ooh, I like Twinkies.
I know.
I like them too. That's not bad.
Twinkies and ding dongs. I think I would like to do
call
one.
It cupboard. And I mean, we don't find just like 5 big people. We find like the 5 fattest motherfuckers you know. Like we find like the littlest one's going to be 450 pounds. We're going to call him Junior. Like I want big fucking people. The kind of people that like their exercise is like where they clap their hands. Big people. And then you bring in like the trainers and stuff, because I also love a reality show that shows a metamorphosis, a change, so that they're very different at the end than they were in the beginning. So let's take these, right? You get them down to 200 fucking pounds. It's not hard.
Right. That is cool to see that transition.
Yes. You see them.
It's a good story.
Do it and be accountable. And I also want to put in some element that will bond these 5 people, because I also think there is some lovely trauma bonding that happens among fat people, right? Like when you sit with fat people, you're like, okay, one time I got a whole log of Velveeta cheese and I went and sat in my car with 6 boxes of Melba toast and I ate the whole fucking thing. And then I chugged a red strawberry Fanta. And then the next one will go like, oh, you think that's something. One time I got 2, right? And you out binge
each other. Yeah.
And it's very comforting and at the same time, I think healing to know that other people do this.
And can I be in the next room puking?
You could be listening to these stories. Your story will be the bulimia or the
bulimia
stories.
Well, my idea for
tell me.
A reality show would be way different than yours.
Okay.
Although I get where you're coming from on that. I would like to see them take what do you call them? Juvenile delinquents? I mean, kids that are in trouble. So like one from a city, one from a small town, one from all over the country, who probably haven't traveled, probably don't know other cultures, other people, even in the United States. Get them all together to build a house for someone who needs a home.
Ooh.
And teach them skills and teach them, that teamwork of building. And then in the end, they have built a house, but they will have gone through, fights with each other and all kinds, they sort of live together too in some place.
I love this idea, though. For a second, I thought you were going to say you take the juvenile delinquents to like Italy.
Well,
right? I'm not opposed to that either.
Like the second season when they build houses, when they
go
to Italy and buy one of those houses for $1 and then they redo it.
I feel like if you took those little badasses to another country and dropped them where they don't know the fucking language and they can't do shit, woo, they're gonna figure some shit out fast.
End up in an Italian jail.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
I would like, and this is something I really would love to do. Because I always say I'm a storyteller. Everybody's got a story, and I like to help people tell their stories. I would like a show where I tell that person's story. They're telling their story. And in that story, they have a deep wish, something they really need or want. It doesn't have to be somebody that's broke, a destitute person. But something that
so the wants is not necessarily materialistic,
right? A deep desire, a personal desire for theirs, whatever it is. In that episode, fulfill that desire.
Nice.
It not just like we built your whole new house in 2 days thing, but like something that really touches them. It could be a spiritual thing, a monetary thing, or seeing something or going somewhere,
or being reunited with someone.
Yes.
So this is Make-A-Wish, the TV series.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Fulfilling its wishes fulfilled, to borrow Wayne Dyer's term.
I like that.
I would love to and talk about that because, I'm all about that, changing your life by changing what you're imagining and to kind of share the stories with people. And it's not only helping the people that are on the episode, it's helping the people that are watching it.
I agree. That's why I always love those home shows like you were talking about, they do that dream home one where these people,
Yes.
there's 5 people living in 3 rooms, and
Yeah.
oh my God. And then you see them just to know that they have this space to live, to be the family that they are, and that they're not going to have the burden of the expense of it. Because don't they pay for it at the end? Don't they pay the whole?
In that show, yeah.
I love that.
But there's another one now called these two went viral. This couple went viral called Cheap Old Houses, and they went viral online because they were showing people all these like upstate New York, these houses that were like $80,000 for a 4-bedroom house, and blah blah blah. And they're like, but they love old houses, and they love restoring them, and so now they have a show where they take people to buy a house and then restore it. And I'm like, I love that. It's sort of like the same idea of buying thrift store clothing and buying, recycling stuff.
Yes.
We don't think about that with houses. People are like, oh, look at that old house. Ugh. But a lot of people love old architecture and old houses, and they're,
I love that.
And I just love that they do that. And then so people, have $100,000 budget, but they buy a $50,000 house and have $50,000 to put into it. And
I love these ideas.
I'm just fantasizing about finding a house that's under $100,000.
Well, he's speaking of rural places, I believe.
Yeah, I know.
But I also think this. I think that what we're saying is that what we love about reality TV is the ones that are real, where real people are getting real opportunities and are getting the chance to make themselves better, or to express what is in them, or to somehow, make their world shine a little brighter. And what we don't like about reality TV, or what you guys don't like, because I like it all, but what you guys don't like is the sort of vapid, shallow side to it, where you see untalented people being rewarded with what should go to talented people.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane. Go do something else.
I get it. I get it. It's also irritating that way on like the comedy scene, because the Hawk Tuh girl is now touring comedy clubs because she has, I swear to God, they're booking her at comedy clubs. She's gonna be funny and do it, and she's never been a comedian, but she's got so many followers and so many people would pay to see it that they've booked her a whole slew of improvs all across. And I don't know that it's the improv brand, so let me say that, but they booked her in a bunch of comedy clubs across the United States and Canada. Just sort of doing
on the power of her number of viewers.
Yes. And she doesn't have an act per se. I don't know what she's going to say. Maybe she does. Maybe she's got jokes and I'm just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, she might
But,
be.
I mean, when you reward views and followers with work like that people have actually worked, with rewards that people have actually worked to get, I can see where it would build resentment, because it pisses me off. I'm like, really? I'm really fucking funny.
And also, let me say, so I had a friend that was in the whole time it was on Broadway. She was in Anastasia, the musical, right? So the young leading man in that was in for, I don't know how long, year or two, whatever. And then he was leaving, getting another job. And so they did this big announcement. They got some guy that had all these views online, and he was going to now be in the show, and they thought it was just going to bring people and sell tickets and da-da-da, and it just went down the tubes. And he wasn't even as good, enough to have that role. And this is according to my friend who was in the show. She's like, he just was lackluster, and like nobody bought tickets. It wasn't like he was.
Well, one of the, Chicago is one of those shows on Broadway that constantly brings in people,
the reality star,
TV people, and they brought in that little girl from Vanderpump Rules, and she sold more tickets than anybody, and that's from her boyfriend cheating on her. I mean, and that happened every damn day on that show.
But they hit on a formula that worked, and they do it, and they have Jinx Monsoon is in there right now, I think, doing Mama Morton. They have,
one of my
old stars that you haven't seen. So it's kind of a formula that has magically worked for that show for over 20 years now. You know,
I agree, but it's interesting to me to see, because also I think what you don't realize is so many of those younger people on these reality shows like Vanderpump Rules or even the top model shows, that those people they've moved here to be actors. They didn't move here to be waiters. They're just waiting tables, and now they're making a TV show about where I wait tables. Awesome. This will be my little lane, and this will be what I'm in.
Yeah,
but they actually have had theater training and whatever, because they moved here to act, to be in the business, you know. So I don't begrudge them that. I don't want to see Erica Jane do anything.
I like Erica. I think, you know, it's weird, the whole story with her senile husband and the money, and I don't know what's true, but I would have liked to have seen her in Chicago.
Me too.
Into the Woods in Chicago, my two favorite plays. So I would have paid to see her in Chicago.
Love
I'm not paying, not the girl. Oh, you love Into the Woods?
Oh God, yes. Oh yeah, I saw the original 11 times.
No way.
Yes. And I had a friend who was Little Red in the national tour.
I was Little Red when we did it.
Did you?
Yes,
Were you?
I was the cutest Little Red. I pushed my boobs way up, so I had all this cleavage, and I just had frosting from one side of my face to the other. I was just like this little plump fucking. I just ate. I didn't sing without food flying out of my mouth. It was just so
We
fun.
need to do a Broadway, musical stage stuff with you. You need to come back on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when we cover our Broadway episode.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can have Todd and Frank, and they'll do like a chorus.
Oh yes.
Delicious.
I love that answer. Well, Todd, thank you for joining us.
What a pleasure.
As we bitched over biscuits,
and they were
real good biscuits. So join us next time as we tackle another genre of podcast with our surprise celebrity guests. Please join us on Instagram at the BOB Podcast. That's at the BOB Podcast on Instagram.
Not BOOB. B.O.B.
B.O.B. For Bitchin Over Biscuits, the Boob Podcast. That's on the OnlyFans page.
That's a whole different thing.
Whole different show. But join us again. We appreciate you being here. I am Jen Cobra. This is Todd Sherry. That's Mike Brignac, and we are out.